In this video, you'll hear from Mukhtar at just 19 years old, already managing $50,000 on a funded account. And what makes this story so powerful is that just a few months ago, he was completely new to trading, where he was struggling with his psychology, didn't have a strategy, and was wondering if it would ever work out. And in his story today, he shares exactly how consistency, the right guidance and mentorship, and being part of a strong community really helped him turn things around and finally get funded.
Welcome back to a new interview. Today we have a very special trader, just 19 years old, with Afghan origins, which you can maybe speak about it, but born and raised in Sweden. 19-year-old Mukhtar, very nice to have you today here.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited for the call.
I think we can start a bit about your background. Like, what was your previous knowledge, or how were you trading before joining us?
So the thing is, I have always been interested in trading. Already when I was like 16 years old, I asked my mom, can I get some money? Can I trade under your name in the stock market? And I would just buy the stocks that sounded cool and all of that stuff, because I always found it very fascinating. And 2 summers ago, like 1.5 years ago, I was very interested in trading, so I went on YouTube and I searched how to day trade, and there I came across support, resistance, break and retest, and I tried that out for a few months, 3-4 months, but I didn't see any success with it. I didn't know my plan. I didn't know when to enter and exit and all of that kind of stuff. And that's when I came across your videos, Waqar videos, and that got me really interested in these guys really know what they're talking about, and they can read the market with such accuracy. So I got really interested in that. And that's when I took the step to really join WWA and like deepen my knowledge and really be able to trade the market with confidence.
Amazing. Could we say that you were very new into trading before joining us?
Yes, I had not a lot of knowledge.
Amazing. We always have chats about this internally on the company. And is this thing that sometimes is easier to shape someone on a good way, on a trading perspective, when has no knowledge or background before? Because sometimes you also get people with so many courses, so many mentorships on their back that it is a different process. We can do both, but the ones that have been actually with a lot of mentors, we need to rebuild habits. When in your case, for example, you're actually, or we're starting very new with us, it's a smoother process, of course, with all the hard work that you've been putting. And this is something I wanted to tap into too. I know you were on the verge a couple of times to get funded, and now you finally got funded. 50K or 100K?
50K for now. For now, yeah.
For now, 50K, but it'll go higher for sure. You're very young. So tell me a bit about the process. I know you were, again, a few times on the verge to passing phase 2, and then finally end up passing, getting that 50K account. So what was a bit that process internally for you?
Yeah. So the thing is, when I first started WWA, I just tried to learn the concept and the technical side, and I thought the technical analysis, that's everything. As long as I learn the models, know when to enter, exit, that's enough. And that in theory is enough, but I didn't have the psychology. Whenever I went into a loss, whenever I had a losing streak, I would just try to gain the losses back. I was trying to overtrade, over leverage, and this was my case. And I wasn't really so disciplined outside of trading. I was a bit inconsistent. Some days I would read, walk, other days I wouldn't do all my daily tasks, let's say. And whenever I came to phase 2, I was so eager to pass the challenge and finally become funded that I started to force a lot of setups. I used to risk 1.5-2% just to pass the challenge very quickly. But then I realized that I need to be consistent. I need to take everything very slow, be very accurate, and just have the patience. And if I just follow the system at the WWA models, I will make it. And I just need to believe in the process and keep my psychology under control.
Amazing. It's very impressive also to hear you at just 19 years old. It reminds me also when Waqar and myself started, we were also around that era, but definitely not funded with 50K, which is something very, very good for yourself. Regarding on this process, right? What do you think it was inside of the ecosystem or the systems that we have as a company? What would you say was the most beneficial part in this case for yourself, for you to break through these patterns or moments that you were speaking about?
I would say of course, the whole community. Like when you see everyone show up to the daily calls every day for London and New York session, that's like so motivating. Seeing everyone show up, work hard, and really be there to learn. But also the one-on-one coachings. Like whenever I had a like problem with psychology, with technical analysis, I could just write to my coach on the one-on-one Zoom call. I could just ask him like, I'm struggling with this. What is the solution? What is the plan for me to overcome this problem? And then I would get a very clear plan from my coach that you need to do X, Y, and Z, and if you just follow the process and do this plan, you're going to overcome your psychology and you're going to become a better technical side. So I would say the support that you have inside the community, and everyone is really trying to learn and grow together as a team. And I think that's super important because like whenever I traded like 1 year ago, I was very lonely. I didn't like, I thought trading is a lonely game. I would just sit at home with my laptop in the middle of the night back testing. I was like, I need to do this myself. But like seeing so many people in the same space and community, that's like you can't put a value to it.
100%. I think it's also the environment, right, that is being created because we, from one side, we want you guys to be independent traders. That's the goal of the program. The goal of you joining us is to be able to make your own decisions. But we know through that process, it's very important to get the right support, the right mentorship, right? It is something very noticeable how just theory doesn't make you a trader, right? We always try to say the thing of like practice over theory or application over theory, because it is these daily communication support systems being able to show up on an environment that is actually positive or beneficial, right? That you're actually getting reply to your questions, that when you're having those blocking moments of yourself as a trader, that we all have them, having an environment where you can actually rely on, open yourself up, and showcase all of that. So first of all, amazing to hear that. So what do you think are your goals now for the rest of the year and upcoming years? I know you're very young, but let's say short-term goals and long-term goals.
Yeah, like my short-term goals are, of course, to now when I have the funded account, just take the payouts, reinvest it, build at least 1 million in funding, and just this. That's my short-term goal for now. Just stay consistent, stack payouts, and just reinvest the payouts into larger capital and just grow my capital for now. And of course, my long-term goal is, of course, to open a personal account and just start trading from there. And even in the future, maybe use my trading gains to open a business or a company and start to build my life from there. But I'm seeing trading as a vehicle to use as something that I'm gonna use for the rest of my life.
Amazing. I'm very sure you will accomplish all of them. You're extremely young, super mature for your age. So I'm definitely know that with the hard work you're putting already at this young age, all of these things will happen over time. What would you recommend to the Mukhtar, for example? I don't know if you have doubts or there was something around your head before joining us. There were any doubts before you joined us, and what would you recommend to that person before joining us?
Yeah. No, what I would say to him is just join WWA, just really learn the technical sides of it for the first few months, but also build healthy habits outside of trading. Like build a routine, do a clear plan that every day I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna go train, I'm gonna read books, and just build a healthy habit outside of trading also. Because what I did was I used to sit every day by the chart for 8 hours, 9 hours. I would see on social media you need to go into monk mode, just cut off your friends, cut off everything. But that didn't work for me. What worked for me was just study the charts for 4 hours, 5 hours, and then go out, train, walk, be with your family, and just build healthy habits outside of trading. So that's what I would tell him, and also work a lot of new psychology. Like one loss is not the end of the world, and even if you have a losing streak or you as in my case, I came to phase two a lot of times and I would just over leverage. And whenever I used to blow account, I would think it's the end of the world. I'm never gonna make it. I'm not built for this. I used to think this so many times. I used to, as I said, like to my coach many times, sometimes I would wake up in the middle of the night, like stressed whenever I would blow my phase two. And that would like it really affected me like from a psychological perspective because I
Mhm.
really get affected by it. But just understand that it's okay to fail, but as long as I fail and learn something from it, that's the most valuable thing.
100%, 100%. I think there is a lot of things being said online, and probably a lot of them can also be good, but it's very important to be able to take them and personally see if they're actually gonna have a positive impact or not. Some people in isolation, they grow. Some other people just being extremely isolated, they just don't feel on the right environment, right? So I 100% agree with you on that. Regarding joining us on the past, when you were about to make, let's say, the decision of joining WWA, did you have any doubts about us, for example?
Like for the thing is, I'm gonna be to completely honest. Like in the beginning of, I had a little bit of doubt because I used to
Yeah.
watch you and Wakar, your English channel, and all of that because I know that you guys knew trading, but people are selling like so much courses and people are scamming, taking the money, just giving them a course that is not even valuable and just taking the money and all of that kind of stuff. So I didn't know, but once I got inside the community and saw the value you give, like the value you give, the curriculum, the master class, the community, the weekend calls, daily calls, I knew that this is a serious course. And if I take this seriously, I'm gonna take the knowledge and I'm gonna be able to become a real trader. And that was super fun. But in the beginning, I was a bit doubtful. But now, like when I came to the community, seeing all the resources, I knew that this is a serious community and these guys really know what they're talking about.
Amazing. So what would you say then to the person that was doubting a bit in there if you went and looked back?
Yeah, I would say to him, do it. I wish I did it earlier. I know that I'm 19 and young, but I wish I did it 1 year ago when I started the trading. Just do it. Just join WWA and just learn the system and everything. Like there's nothing to wait for, honestly. And I used to like I didn't know should I join, should I not join. I used to think I thought about it for like 1, 2, 3 weeks, but then I was like, just do it. Just like join the
Amazing.
system.
Amazing, Mukhtar. Well, was a pleasure to speak with you. Again, probably one of our youngest traders in the community. We do have a few people other than 18, 19, but extremely happy to see what you're accomplishing at such a young age and all the goals that you were mentioning, short term, long term. I know they will happen over time because I can see you are also a very disciplined person and that you are very mature for your age. That is not normal. Usually people mature a bit older, right? So very happy to have had this conversation and thank you very much also for your time and see you inside of the community.
Yes. Thank you very much.